In the magic realm, magic is deeply ingrained in everyday life, shaping social status and considered a divine gift. Regro Burndead, a 75-year-old, lives a secluded life with his son, Mash, who is unable to use magic. Regro dedicates himself to physically training Mash to compensate for his lack of magical ability. Regro train Mash heavy weight pound every day. When Regro drinking coffee, Mash break the door accidentally because Mash is too powerful and trained every day. Regro scold him. Even Mash lived here many years. He still break the door and repair the door and break the door. Regro worry about Mash because he is not ordinary people in the magic world. He has no magic, so he can be arrested by magic police. Regro tells Mash not to venture into the city, and Mash promises he won't. Mash ignores Regro's wishes due to having an empty stomach. He notices many people using magic in the city and wonders why they're using magic for things they could do with their hands. He hands a caterer bent coins and shocks him. He unbends the coins and receives his food. Meanwhile, someone reports that this world's divine and visionary will be Rain Ames, a second year at Easton Magic Academy, a prestigious school in the magic realm. Only students who demonstrate the highest degree of excellence can achieve this status. Elsewhere, an officer named Brad Coleman attempts to threaten his prisoner with wild antics, but someone calls him and informs him about Mash's unmarked facial features. At the same time, Mash wanders the streets while eating cream puffs and wonders why everyone looks at him differently. He bumps into a member of the magic police and stains the officer's uniform. The officer yells at Mash for his crude actions, so Mash rips off the piece that he stained and promises to return them when they're cleaned. Brad stumbles upon the officer and Mash and tells his comrade to stop causing a fuss. Before he confronts Mash, Regro grabs him and flees. Brad summons a magical bird with his wand and tells him to follow him. Regro yells at Mash for venturing into the city, and Mash apologizes. Regro orders him to complete some morning training routines as punishment. As Mash travels into the forest, Regro wonders if Mash is reaching the point where he wants to venture to places outside the forest. With the magic police catching wind of Mash's existence, Regro knows he'll have to be on high alert. Suddenly, Brad and his men arrive at Regro's household and demand that he tells them where Mash went. After finishing his training, Mash heads home to get some cream puffs. Before Mash opens the door, he overhears Brad conversing with Regro about him. Regro confirms that the magic police tend to remove inferior beings who can't use magic to help magic flourish among the populace. Regro refuses to confess, so Brad pulverizes him. We receive a flashback of a young Regro, who getting belittled for having weak magical capabilities. Regro recounts how he's always been a failure and wanted to end his life. Before he performed said action, he overheard an unmarked, abandoned baby crying. This gave Regro a new reason to live. Regro yells and tells Mash to run away. Mash breaks the door and knocks out one of Brad's goons with immense strength. Mash vows to send all these men to their graves to protect Regro. Brad throws many magical spells at Mash, but he reflects each attack effortlessly. Mash throws a wand at Brad and breaks his spell. He warns Brad not to threaten his family again. Otherwise, he'll murder each of them. Brad asks Mash to do what he asks, and he'll let him and Regro slide. He wants Mash to enroll in the Magic Academy to become the next divine and visionary. He promises society will accept him and that he'll back him up. Brad wants the fortune and prestige that comes with Mash becoming the divine and visionary. Although he knows Mash can handle himself, Brad brings up Regro's well-being to entice Mash to accept his offer. Mash accepts Brad's proposal because he wants him and Regro to live a peaceful life. The episode concludes with Mash walking toward the Magic Academy and vowing to become the next divine and visionary. The Easton Magic Academy is a famous school known for shaping some of the greatest magic users in history. Getting in isn't easy. Only 3% of applicants make it. To even have a chance, you need exceptional magical powers. This year, the hopefuls include kids from big, powerful families and Mash Burndead, a boy hiding a huge secret. He has no magic at all. To fool everyone, Mash has a fake scar on his face that looks like it was caused by magic. It's a clever trick set up by two people, Roger and Brad, who seem to have their own plans for Mash being at the academy. The first test is a written exam, but it's no ordinary test. The questions are scrambled by magic, and students must solve the spells to make sense of them. Mash doesn't use magic, but his sharp thinking and quick hands help him finish first, shocking everyone who thinks he's a magical prodigy. Next is a maze filled with traps. Students must reach the end in 30 minutes. Mash teams up with another applicant, Lemon Irvine. But Lemon has a secret. She's been ordered by Professor Lucci to stop Mash from finishing the test. If she succeeds, the professor promised she'd pass the exam. Inside the maze, they face a giant sphinx that asks a riddle. What has 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs in the afternoon, and 3 legs at night? Lemon panics and can't solve it, so the sphinx prepares to punish her. But Mash, who has a kind heart, refuses to leave her behind. He risks failing the exam to save her. Touched by Mash's bravery, Lemon admits the truth. Professor Lucci told her to sabotage him. With time running out, Mash doesn't bother solving the maze. Instead, he punches through the walls and reaches the goal. His sheer strength amazes and confuses everyone watching. Professor Lucci is furious and tries to punish Mash for ruining his plan. But Headmaster Wahlberg steps in, taking charge of the exam. He brings Mash to the final test, a personal interview. In the interview, Wahlberg uses powerful magic to trap the soul of Mash's grandfather in a doll. He threatens to harm the doll, testing Mash's courage. But Mash doesn't back down. He boldly says he'll protect his grandfather, no matter what. Wahlberg, impressed by Mash's bravery and determination, reveals it was all part of the test. He accepts Mash into the academy, seeing potential in him beyond magic. Even though Mash passed the exam, his struggles aren't over. His lack of magic becomes obvious when he can't even cast a simple spell to open a locked door. Instead, he just breaks the door with his bare hands, surprising everyone around him. Mash moves into the dorms, where he meets his new roommate, Finn Ames, and some quirky students Finn jokingly names after his muscles. Finn explains how students collect gold coins by excelling in tests, activities, and good behavior. Collecting enough coins is the only way to become a divine visionary, the Academy's top honor. Most people think Mash has no chance and will be kicked out soon. But Mash doesn't care about what others think. With his simple, cheerful attitude, he offers Finn a cream puff as a gesture of friendship. Mash is ready to face whatever challenges come his way. During broom riding class, all the students made their brooms float except Mash. One student accused him of cheating, claiming Mash made his broom float before the command. To settle it, the student challenged Mash to a race, saying the loser must obey the winner for as long as they're at school. Mash accepted. When the race began, Mash used his quick thinking. He threw the broom ahead, ran at full speed, leapt into the air, slowed himself with air resistance, and landed on the broom midair. Mash crossed the finish line, setting a new speed record. The losing student was furious, calling Mash a cheater and refusing to honor the bet. Another student, Lloyd Cavell, stepped in to defend Mash and even offered to be his friend. However, it turned out Cavell had orchestrated the whole situation, and the losing student was following his orders. Cavell was feared because his father was a high-ranking official in the Bureau of Magic. Opposing him could lead to expulsion. That evening, Mash relaxed with cream puffs, but his instincts told him he had upset someone powerful. The next day, Mash found his textbooks ruined. Cavell admitted he'd ordered Finn to tear them up. Cavell told Mash he could help him become a divine visionary if Mash did everything he asked. Mash agreed and spent the day running errands for Cavell and his friends, carrying their things, cleaning their shoes, and even doing silly tasks. Despite everything, Mash stayed kind, even giving Finn cream puffs as thanks for borrowing his broom. Later, Finn confessed to Mash that he had torn up the textbooks under Cavell's orders. Mash forgave him. Cavell soon showed up, demanding Mash join him for dinner with the vice principal. Mash, unfazed, told Cavell he should apologize to Finn. Cavell was shocked, and Finn warned Mash he might get expelled for talking back. Mash didn't care. The vice principal arrived, and heard Cavil claim Mash punched him. Mash then punched the vice principal too, saying he couldn't reason with him. When the vice principal threatened expulsion, Mash buried him in dirt using his incredible strength, joking that it was magic dirt. Later, the vice principal summoned Mash to explain himself. Mash joked it was because he made cream puffs in the dorm kitchen. The vice principal revealed the Bureau of Magic wanted Mash expelled for hitting Cavil, but he admired Mash's sense of justice. He explained that the Bureau controlled the country, and divine visionaries were their elite. The vice principal hoped someone like Mash could change the unfair system. He gave Mash one condition to stay: become the top student, collect gold coins, and become a divine visionary. Mash agreed, and the vice principal fainted from talking too much. Mash avoided punishment, but earned respect for standing up to Cavil and the vice principal. Students began asking him to represent their dorm in challenges like the duello matches. However, Mash still didn't know how to ride a broom. Mash couldn't fly because he couldn't use magic. His teammates were confused and frustrated, especially as the opposing team, Lang Dorm, scored points quickly. Despite this, Mash's team captain encouraged him to stay strong, comparing him to bamboo, strong, flexible, and able to survive anything. The captain explained the rules. Players fight midair for the ball and try to pass it through a ring to score. Magic wasn't allowed, so the game was all about broom skills. Lang Dorm kept scoring, and things got worse when Mash's captain was injured. The opposing team's captain, Lord Tom, mocked Adler Dorm, making the situation even harder. The captain told Mash to do his best, win or lose. Inspired, Mash did the impossible. He ran through the air by kicking his legs rapidly. His teammates passed him the ball, and Mash threw it with such force that no one could stop it, scoring Adler Dorm's first point. The crowd was stunned, and his teammates were amazed. Adler Dorm was still behind by 49 points, and time was running out. But Mash didn't give up. He used his strength to catch and throw the ball, scoring repeatedly. His throws were so powerful that the ball bounced back to him, letting him score again and again. In the end, Adler Dorm won, breaking the record for the highest game score. Mash and his team were awarded silver coins for their victory. Mash celebrated with his friends and the captain, who praised him for his incredible effort. Later, while studying in the library, Mash was approached by Lance Crown, a first-year student with 2 magic marks on his face. Double-line magic users like Lance are rare and considered chosen by Magic. Lance challenged Mash to a duel, betting their silver coins. Even though magical duels were taboo at the academy, Mash had no choice but to accept. Lance had trapped Mash's friends in a bottle and was holding them hostage. Lance underestimated Mash because he had no magic. He used gravity magic to pin Mash down and taunted him, saying Mash would never beat someone like him, who puts his own goals above others. But Mash didn't back down. He used the roots of a tree to pull himself forward and dodge Lance's attacks. When Lance dodged Mash's punch, Mash grabbed his necklace instead and found a photo of Lance's sister inside. Lance revealed that his sister, Anna, had an incurable disease that would take away her magic. He wanted to become a divine visionary to save her and saw Mash as a rival in his path. Lance threatened to drop the bottle holding Mash's friends off a mountain. Mash, showing his quick thinking, used a technique he called hamstring magic and Big Bang Dash to retrieve the bottle. When he gave it back to Lance, he revealed it was empty. Mash explained he didn't want to fight and thought Lance wasn't a bad person. Surprised by Mash's kindness, Lance gave Mash his silver coin. Mash later realized he should have checked the bottle before giving it back. Still, Lance turned out to be a good person, and Mash learned a valuable lesson about making smarter choices. His friends were thrilled to be saved, and Mash continued to impress everyone with his strength and kindness. There are 3 dorms in Easton Magic Academy. Students with corresponding characteristics are assigned to each dorm: Adler, courage and conviction; Orca, wisdom and willingness; and Lang, ability and ambition. The dorms are rivals, and their friendly rivalry persists throughout the entire academy. Finn struggles with his potions assignment, worried about failing and being dropped out. Lance Crown, the top student, appears and effortlessly silences a screaming mandragora, a key ingredient for their assignment, using magic. He instructs Finn, highlighting the importance of core strength and focused magic. While Lance guides Finn, Mash manages to silence his own Mandragora, but his unorthodox method ends up turning the plant into a giant version. Lance then demonstrates the compounding process, leaving Finn baffled by its complexity. Surprisingly, Mash claims to understand, and while he perfectly mimics Lance's actions, he ends up with a cream puff instead of the potion. Lance, determined to prove his superiority, challenges Mash to surpass him, hinting at his personal motivations for joining the Bureau of Magic. During the all-dorm off-campus class in a forest, a first-year student from Lang, Barrett, proclaims himself the main character of the world. He targets Mash, jealous of the attention he receives from girls. Believes he is entitled to an equal share of female attention and blames popular boys for the skewed ratio. He vows to join the Bureau of Magic to rid the world of handsome men. The outdoor class involves hunting forest scorpions and collecting stones embedded in their foreheads. Square stones are worth silver coins, while others are worth bronze. During the exercise, a second-year student from Lang antagonizes Mash, criticizing his perceived arrogance. He tries to intimidate Mash, but their confrontation is interrupted by the professor. Lance encourages Mash to stay with group, but later, Mash meet with other first-year student and then helps the first-year girl. Then three of them together find the scorpions. Girl, she used her love magic to fall in love with her and to control Da. Then she tries to use magic and control to Mash, but she can't control Mash. Then Silver second-year student appears, and then attacks to Silver using his fire magic many spells. But Silver cover using his silver magic, and then counterattack to and defeated. Never give up, and he get up and attack Silver, but Silver attack seriously, so is defeated by Silver and too much blood on his head. Tells Mash to take the girl and run, but she reveals she's been working alongside Silva. Silva and the girl mock for his wasted effort, and Mash throws a cream puff into Silva's mouth. He demands Silva let him take part in his 10-hit challenge. Meanwhile, Lance worries about Mash's safety and breakdowns down the different types of mages. Before Silva could hurt further, Mash intervenes. Mash unleashes his triceps magic to fight off Silva's stone magic. Mash tells Silva he has 8 more hits to endure if he wants to win. Suddenly, a giant forest scorpion arrives, and Silva plans to flee while it fights Mash. Mash flings the scorpion away, shocking everyone. Silva submits, and the girl accompanying him tries to cry her way out of a beating. Mash slams her to the ground because he's not fooled by her lies, and treats everyone equally. Mash collects the Starstone coins the scorpion left behind, and reunites with Lance, Finn, and Lemon. Apologizes to Mash for the stuff surrounding Silva and the girl. Lance tells Mash that people from Lang's dorm are after Adler's dorm coins. Lance believes a war between the dorms has begun with Lang's elites, the Maji Lupus, taking charge. Something glows in Mash's pocket, and with Silva's coin and the 2 extracted from the scorpion, Mash now has 1 gold coin. He tells Mash that Magia Lupus consists of 7 distinguished students, but Lance warns Mash to stay close to friends since he has a gold coin now. Unfortunately, Mash finds himself lost in school the following day. At the same time, Silva gets scolded by Magia Lupus and their leader Lord Abel. Abel confirms they're collecting coins to rid the world of impurities. Abel turns Silva into a marionette with his magic, and we learn that his mother is one too. The episode concludes with Mash accidentally breaking Magia Lupus's door and mocking Abel's mother's appearance. Mash break the door and enter to the meeting room of Lord Abel to save his friend. Lord Abel identifying Mash as the student from Adler dorm with the gold coin. Mash tells Abel he wants to become a divine visionary to obtain a peaceful life with his family. Abel says Mash lacks the nerve to become one and shares what he plans to do with such a title. Abel plans to return this world to its true form, where the superior flourish and show no signs of care for the weak. Mash unknowingly mocks Abel, but Abel's willing to let it slide if he gives him his gold coin. Mash refuses, and he and Abel fight. Abel overwhelms Mash with one of his muscular puppets and snatches him a coin. Mash notices one of the puppets reverts back to Silva, the fellow who gave him issues in the previous episode. Mash says he'll return for his coin another time and only cares about taking Silva to the nurse's office. After Mash departs, Abel realizes the gold coin was actually a button from his muscular puppet's clothing. One of his comrades explains how Mash pulled off the trick while Abel's left stunned. Meanwhile, Silva awakens from his unconscious state in the nurse's office and wonders what happened. Silva catches Mash working out in the office and asks him why he took him to the office after what he did to him. Mash says he likes helping people in trouble and leaves. Meanwhile, Dot and Lance argue with each other in Finn's room. Finn wants them to leave, but they ignore him and continue sharing their reasons for hating each other. Mash returns and asks Lance and Dot to take their battle outside. Dot stops arguing and hands Finn a welcoming gift. Lemon enters Finn and Mash's quarters and asks everyone to follow her to the magic scale. It's a device that shows how many gold coins each dorm possesses. Lang dorm has the most gold coins because they've been stealing them from other dorms. Without their dorm's upperclassmen away on internships and the Orca dorm filled with geeks, they're the only ones who can defeat them. Mash, Lance, and Dot are prepared to take Lang dorm down. Unfortunately, because of his past actions, Mash must complete some owl hut cleaning duties for a week. Fortunately, Lance vows to aid Mash with the task because he wants to protect Mash's coin. Suddenly, two members of Lang dorm, named Olor and Answer, attack Lance and Mash at the owl hut and are after his coin. Olor requests they battle each other, and the winner will receive the other's gold coin. Olor takes Mash somewhere while Answer battles Lance. As they fight, Answer realizes Lance is the eldest son of the Crown family, who ran off for some reason. Answer discusses how he loves fighting people weaker than himself because it makes him feel superior. Lance puts Answer in his place and defeats him. Meanwhile, Mash fights Olor in his sea field. Olor transforms into a shark to make himself quicker and more dangerous than Mash. Unfortunately, Mash learns to swim and defeats Olor with his newly learned swimming techniques. Having defeated Olor and Answer, Mash and Lance feel like this will be a cakewalk. However, another member of Lang dorm arrives to disprove their theory. Mash and Lance try to confront this individual, but they're too fast for them. Fortunately, this person only came to retrieve Olor and Answer. The person flees but realizes Mash made a dent in their mask. Mysterious hooded figure from Lang dorm stealing a gold coin from someone from Orca dorm. Meanwhile, Lance plans to locate Lang dorm's location to swipe their gold coins. Lance hands Mash's Adler dorm robe to help Mash remember the dorm he's a part of. Lemon tells Mash and Lance to follow her to see Tom, who isn't as upbeat or passionate. He tells Mash and the others that he mysteriously woke up in a hospital bed and feels like he temporarily can't use magic. He speculates someone may have drained his powers. Lance realizes other students are in hospital beds. Tom says the others are going through the same problems as himself. Lemon gives Mash a good luck cream puff charm to keep him safe. Lance and Mash patrol the academy at night. Finn and Dot join the fray. They spot Lemon, but realize it's a puppet iteration of her. Mash and the others track it down and find a dead end. Dot and Finn hear a creepy creaking noise and freak out. Lance uses his Disclose spell to reveal a secret door on the floor. Mash uses his strength to open the door. They follow the path and find an ancient dueling ground. One of Third Fawn's accomplices arrives and says he plans to eradicate them for intruding. This boy tells them to wager coins and challenge him if they want to proceed. Dot challenges him out of jealousy of his good looks. The boy taunts Dot during their fight. He claims to be stronger than Silva. Dot outsmarts this person and defeats him despite the odds. Mash and Lance get whisked away to different rooms, while Finn and Dot get sent to the same room. Lance meets the third Fong of Maji Lupus Worth. Dot and Finn meet the fifth and fourth Fong, Love and Milo. Mash meets the mysterious person who saved Olor and Answer. He's the second Fong of Maji Lupus, Abyss Razor. Abyss tells Mash he can't use magic, but has his reasons for being here. The episode closes with Mash and his friends preparing to fight their enemies. Lance and Worth faced off, their clash echoing with fierce determination. Worth tried to overwhelm Lance and persuade him to join Maji Lupus, but Lance stood firm, dismissing him as second-rate. Their battle raged on, with Lance gaining the upper hand. Worth, confident in his superior background and history at Easton, refused to back down. Desperate to turn the tide, Worth pulled out a capsule of magical essence stolen from other students. He drank it, and his power surged dramatically. Worth smirked, boasting about his mastery of second magic, a skill few double-liners could achieve. He mocked Lance for associating with weaklings, but Lance wasn't fazed. With unwavering focus, Lance overpowered Worth, delivering a decisive defeat. As he lay defeated, memories of his father's harsh words came flooding back. Worth remembered how his father had called him worthless, even if he managed to join the Bureau. Seeing the pain behind Worth's bravado, Lance handed him a reference book. Though Lance didn't like Worth's arrogance, he acknowledged the effort he had shown. With a rare show of respect, Lance left Worth to reflect on his life and choices. At the same time, Mash was locked in a battle with Abyss. Abyss, wielding accelerated magic, attacked Mash relentlessly, trying to weaken him. He unveiled a device that drained magic power, threatening that Lemon would lose her magic and mark in 30 minutes. Abyss's assault seemed overwhelming, and he managed to stab Mash. But Mash, with his incredible strength, did the unthinkable. He caught Abyss's sword with his abs and countered with a devastating headbutt. Mash noticed Abyss's red eye and asked about it. Abyss revealed it was an evil eye, a power that disabled the magic of anyone under its gaze. He explained how this ability had made him a feared and hated outcast all his life. As Abyss continued his attack, he cast a force field that slowed Mash's movements while increasing his own speed. But Mash wasn't easily outsmarted. He punched the ground, narrowing Abyss's movement options, and then unleashed a flurry of powerful combos, defeating him. Abyss lay on the ground, consumed by memories of his painful past. He wished he had been born normal, lamenting how he had been a disappointment to his parents and fearing that Lord Abel would see him the same way. Mash, however, surprised him. Instead of finishing him off, he offered Abyss his friendship. Abyss hesitated, warning Mash that he might end up hating him like everyone else had. Still, Mash remained undeterred. Before parting ways, Abyss warned Mash not to fight Lord Abel, revealing that the power Mash had seen was only a fraction of Abel's true strength. Mash, as confident as ever, declared that he would face Abel regardless. He reassured Abyss that his evil eye didn't bother him. With that, Mash walked away, leaving Abyss to reflect on his words. As Mash disappeared into the distance, Abyss's mask cracked, symbolizing a glimmer of change in the broken man. Milo leaves Love to fight Finn and Dot on her own. Love keeps asking the boys if they think she's cute. She threatens to destroy them if they don't agree. Dot quickly says he likes someone else, which only makes Love angrier. She keeps attacking him relentlessly. While Dot struggles, Love reveals that Milo has cursed certain people who open the door. They will turn to stone. She warns Dot and Finn that if they don't defeat her or Milo in 30 minutes, Mash will also become a statue. Dot remembers a moment from his past when his sister encouraged him to stand up for himself. This memory gives him the strength to awaken his Ira Cruz, a special mark that makes him stronger when his emotions run high. With this power, Dot overwhelms Love and she surrenders. But just as they think it's over, Milo steps back into fight. Milo summons a stone creature to attack Finn, but Dot sacrifices himself to protect his friend. Dot realizes that Milo has stopped his petrification spell to focus on the fight. Before things can get worse, Rain Ames, the divine visionary and the best student in Adler Dorm, arrives. Rain easily defeats Milo, beating him to get information. Seeing Milo's defeat, Love decides to switch sides and joins Adler Dorm. Rain orders Dot and Finn to leave. Dot, confused by Rain's sudden appearance, reluctantly agrees. Later, Rain is searching for members of Innocent Zero when he runs into Mash. Mistaking Mash for an enemy, Rain summons a magical spider called Arachnibus to test Mash's magic level. The spider discovers Mash has no magic at all. Rain attacks Mash with powerful magic, but Mash defends himself. Impressed, Rain asks Mash for his name. He suddenly remembers Wahlberg's words about a special student he was supposed to protect. Realizing Mash is that student, Rain apologizes and gives him a magic kerchief to heal his wounds. Before leaving, Rain warns Mash about Lord Abel and tells him that facing him without magic will be incredibly dangerous. He encourages Mash to give it everything he's got to become a divine visionary candidate. With that, Rain leaves to continue his mission against Innocent Zero. Lord Abel was surprised to see that Mash had defeated Abyss. He even complimented Mash on his impressive strength, but made it clear that he still wanted to get rid of people who couldn't use magic and those who protected the weak. Mash didn't agree with Abel's beliefs and told him so. This angered Abel, who sent his puppets to attack Mash. As they fought, Love stumbled upon their battle. Mash destroyed Abel's army of puppets with ease and then demanded to know what had happened to Lemon. Abel didn't give a straight answer, instead admitting that he had been draining power from other students. Abel claimed he had the right to take from the weak and sent another wave of puppets to fight Mash. But Mash defeated them with a single powerful punch. In response, Abel sent Finn, who had been turned into a puppet, to fight Mash. Finn attacked Mash relentlessly, but Mash used his gold coin to break the strings controlling Finn. Finn returned to his normal self, and Mash wasted no time striking Abel. In a desperate move, Abel cast a spell to turn Mash into a puppet. He rummaged through Mash's robe, thinking he'd find Mash's gold coin, but all he found was a cream puff. This distracted Abel just long enough for Mash to attack him and regain control of his body. Abel was stunned and guessed that Mash's quick reflexes had saved him, allowing him to fight even while under the spell. Abel unleashed his strongest spell, Harm Puppet, which could turn anyone within 100 meters into a puppet using invisible strings. He declared that this time Mash wouldn't be able to escape. But Mash cleverly felt the string touch his left side and snapped it before it could fully control him. He quickly destroyed the Harm Puppet and unleashed his ultimate move, Hellfall, to finish Abel. After being slammed into the ground, Abel reflected on his past. He shared that his mother had been a kind woman who cared deeply for the underprivileged. Tragically, she had been killed because of her compassion, which had driven Abel to seek out the strongest talents for his plan. Accepting his defeat, Abel promised to turn the students back into humans. Mash reassured Abel that he wasn't a bad person, as his actions came from wanting to honor his mother. Abel freed everyone, and Mash celebrated with Lemon and Finn. Lemon thanked Mash for saving her, and Dot joined them, cheering happily. Meanwhile, Rain confronted someone he thought was Lance, but it turned out to be Innocent Zero in disguise. Zero revealed they were searching for something important at the school. Zero admitted that he had tasked Abel with finding this item, but now considered him useless and planned to eliminate him. Before Rain could pursue Zero, he was stopped by Jean-Pierre, Zero's partner. Rain realized that Zero's power rivaled that of a divine visionary, making him a dangerous enemy. Abyss Razor remembers the first time he met Lord Abel. Meanwhile, Mash steps away to go to the bathroom, and Finn tells the others that their classmates have turned back into humans. They wonder where Lance is when Innocent Zero suddenly appears. Zero forces them aside so he can talk to Abel. He mocks Abel for losing, but thanks him for the information about Headmaster Wahlberg. Just as Zero is about to destroy Abel with magic, Mash shows up holding a plate of cream puffs. He sneezes, sending the cream puffs flying at Zero, which disrupts his magic and saves Abel. Before Zero can confront Mash about it, he gets a sudden headache and wonders if Mash is the boy he's been looking for. Ignoring Mash, Zero tries to attack Abel again, but Abyss arrives and takes the hit for Abel. Mash quickly rushes over and hands Abyss a magic handkerchief. Zero explains that Mash threw a rock at him, altering his magic's path, so Abyss won't die. Mash then throws another rock at Zero, but Zero catches it easily. Mash tells Zero that he's taking Abyss to the infirmary and warns him not to harm anyone else, or he'll make Zero regret it. Zero decides to fight Mash with magic. Abel doubts whether anyone, even Mash, can defeat Zero because of the power difference. He wonders why Abyss sacrificed himself. Mash explains why Abyss did it and promises to save him. Abel remembers his mother's advice about being kind and understanding others. In a flashback, Abyss recalls Abel telling him he didn't care what others thought about his strange eye and promised to give it a better purpose. Back in the fight, Abyss tells Abel to run while Mash faces Zero. Zero casts a high-level spell to kill Mash, but Abel steps in to help. This creates an opening for Mash to break Zero's protective shield. Zero is impressed by Mash's strength and asks him what kind of magic he uses. Mash gives a vague answer, so Zero pulls out the spellification mirror, a dangerous item that reflects magic attacks. Dot warns Mash not to use magic, but Mash does what he does best. He kicks Zero in the face, shattering the mirror. Everyone is shocked, realizing that Mash has been fighting with pure physical strength the entire time. A strange mark appears on Zero's hand as he recognizes Mash as the boy he's been searching for. He reveals his true name, Cell War, and says he has urgent business to attend to. Before leaving, Cell promises Mash they'll meet again. After he's gone, Abel assures Mash that the magic handkerchief will heal Abyss. Abyss jokes that Mash should treat him to cream puffs next time. Abel thanks Mash and leaves with Abyss. And the others plan to hide Mash's secret, that he doesn't have any magic powers. But someone overhears their conversation and decides to report Mash to the higher-ups. Mash, unsure what to do, simply eats a cream puff and hopes for the best. Meanwhile, Cell meets his father in a mysterious kingdom and tells him he's found what he's been searching for.